Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215. Right now, we're in the West Kensington neighborhood in North Philadelphia. We're about to just do some driving of Fairhill. I figured we hit Fairhill for a few today. See what it looks like on a summer day. It's Tuesday, 6:26 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, and today's high was 93. Since the sun's going down right now on my left-hand side, which will be the west, I figured there might be some people hanging outside because people come out when the sun goes down. I know I do. So, but yeah, we're traveling northbound on Hancock Street. We are currently on the 2400 block of Hancock Street. Behind us is southbound. On my right is eastbound. On my left is westbound. We have a Pentecostal church on my left-hand side. We have an abandoned business on my right-hand side. It's a corner building. It was open many years ago, but it's been closed for quite some time. There usually be a little dude there filling up your vehicle with Freon. On my left, we got another church, Iglesia Momento. It's an evangelistic church. We got some two-story homes on my left, some three-story homes on my left, and back to two-story homes on my right. We got some brand new three-stories that I believe were, placed there by V Properties. It says, building exponentially better homes. That investor is, or was, or has purchased many lots in this neighborhood and other neighborhoods in Philadelphia. Some people call them sharks, but yeah, that's one of the investors, V Properties. Look on my left, there's another building that they're building. Wow, that's kind of like a brain teaser. That's another building that they're building. We have abandoned factory on my right hand side. We just passed it, but I'm sure that's been bought out. I saw some investors a few months ago out front with clipboards looking at it, all had suits and everything. We got another ministries on my left in this large building. A lot of the Spanish churches or churches of Hispanic ethnicity tend to use old buildings and refurbish them and just utilize them as churches. We got a bunch of graffiti on my right-hand side. That whole wall was done, I believe, on Mother's Day. I believe Mother's Day of this past year, Mother's Day 2021. A whole bunch of graffiti artists met up here on this corner and they rocked that wall. The park on my right-hand side looks pretty packed, so I'm probably gonna make a right here. That was a slingshot that just went by. It's a three-wheel vehicle made by Polaris. We got Urban Care Pharmacy on my left. Several other businesses, including Imperial Palace, AutoZone, Luke Oil gas station, and more. Now we're leaving the West Kensington neighborhood. We're on Lehigh Avenue, Hancock and Lehigh. Now we're entering the Fairhill neighborhood. Fairhill right now is number 1 on the most dangerous neighborhood in 2021. The neighborhood we're about to enter took first place. Remember last year on 2020 it was Nicetown, Tioga. Well, this year in 2021 is Fairhill, aka Badlands. It's one of the most notable neighborhoods in Badlands. Remember I discussed to you guys plenty of times before. We're next to McGuire Playground. On my right you see a bunch of kids playing basketball. But I told y'all before about how the Badlands is several plus neighborhoods. Fairhill, Kensington, Hartranft, Glenwood, Hunting Park, etc., etc. I believe it's a good 8, 9, maybe 10 neighborhoods that are located in North Philadelphia that make up the Badlands, but Fairhill is the one with the hardest reputation because it's where the open drug market originated back in the 80s. Before my time. I'm an 88 baby, so yeah. But I remember in the 90s driving through this neighborhood and it would be like a drive-through pharmaceutical street market. So you would drive through these little blocks. For example, we're on the 2700 block of Mutter. Right now, it's closed, sad to say. I really wanted to take you guys through it, but you would drive through these blocks and there'll be guys on both sides of the street every 10 or so feet throughout the whole entire block. So 20 guys on the left, 20 guys on the right, about equally spread out. And as you're driving by, they would yell out whatever product they had. And I was a little kid sitting in the passenger seat and not knowing, and there'll be cars in front of me that'll stop to purchase product. I was in my folks' vehicle. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. I was in my folks' vehicle, and people would just stop in front of me to make a purchase. You know what I mean? And I was a kid. I didn't know any better. We got the homie Ben in front of us. This homie right here with the black shirt on my left-hand side, he's actually holding up traffic. That's actually my buddy. He was shot. He almost lost his life, but who he was shot with actually did pass away. Yeah. So he ended up naming his son after his buddy that passed away. Yo, Nyako! You alright, sir? How's your children? Your children good?
Yeah, great, man.
Big kids, huh?
Big kids. I was just stuck on your YouTube page.
Word?
Yeah, I was probably like a week ago.
That's decent.
You got a lot of shit going on.
Yes, sir. Trying.
That's good, though. Keep creating content.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Like that. Like the dog.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a bright bulb. You know, there's a saying that says you're not the brightest bulb in the box. He's actually pretty wise for being such a young man. He has, I believe, two children, both of them with colored eyes. And yeah, the night he got shot, I was actually out here with them, and I had just left, and I hear the next day that he was shot. Yep. But his OG didn't make it, man. Let's cross over Cambria. We're passing Cambria. We're Hancock and Cambria. Yeah, his OG didn't make it. He actually was in the video production also at one period of time. He was getting into it. We're passing Monmouth. Now we're passing Birch, 100 block of West Birch. And he ended up going other ways with his business ventures. Passing Stella. We just passed a nice RX-3, a Mazda. Was that RX-3 or RX-5? I actually know who owns that too. He had a Mini Cooper. We're gonna make this left-hand turn. We're on Hancock, 2900 block of Hancock. That's what's up. He said he was checking out the channel the other day. We're gonna make this left-hand turn on the 2900 block of Palethorpe. The one thing I can say about him is he know how to get money, which is a good thing. Passing Stella. When you're able to come from nothing to something, you could turn a 0 into 100. Grind time. We're passing Birch, 100 block of Birch. Now we're passing 100 block of Monmouth. I think his homie that passed away was named Omar. Probably twice his age. I think Omar was in his 40s. And Nieko's in his 20s. Alright, so we're passing Cambria. Now we're entering the 2800 block of Palethorpe. We got a gentleman over here running up the block, Got a little EF Civic right here on my left-hand side, parked on the sidewalk. Got that SS, the SS on my right, the Impala. It's a nice body. It's a 90s body. Was that the 96 SS? It's a nice looking body. Super big car. Gas guzzler, right? Alright, let's go straight. Let's go straight another block. Let's make a right and then come up. Can we come up, Phillip? I can go left. But I know for sure, like Hope Street and a lot of those little tiny blocks are probably gonna be closed. But I'm gonna hit this little area first before we cross over to the right side. Passing the Puerto Rico flag painted on the wall on the left right here. This neighborhood right here where I'm at is specifically or predominantly mostly Puerto Ricans. A lot of people come from Puerto Rico and then they move to this neighborhood because there's a lot of Puerto Ricans. And from what I hear, between the, you look at the coloring of the house, you see on the left is purple and there's like orange and green and yellow. That's how it is in PR. In PR, you paint your house whatever you want to paint it, or whatever color. I hear a dirt bike. Dirt bike. Bring, bring. There you go. Now that happens on the regular in this neighborhood. On the regular. It doesn't matter the time of day. It'll be the morning time. It'll be 7, 8 in the morning. You might catch somebody riding a bike. It might be 9, 10, 11, 12 at night. We're passing the lighthouse on my right-hand side. Passing Mutter. Now we're passing Masher. 2600 block of Masher. Now we're passing the 2700 block of Waterloo. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn on the 2700 block of Howard Street. About to make this turn. On my right-hand side, we got Comar. On my left-hand side, a little bit up next to the gas station, there's El Principe Restaurant. We got Fine Fair Supermarket on my left. There's a whole bunch of graffiti on the side. That's actually permitted graffiti, meaning that they asked the owners of Fine Fair if they can paint that on the building, and they said yeah. See how this block varies in coloration? And you drive by, you hear reggaeton and all of that. Just past the Supermoto. We got Lechonera, which looks to be like a restaurant. Because Lechonera, I had a pig, like a pig roast. Puerto Ricans love themselves some roasted pig. They'll put it on like one of them spinny things. I can't even think about it right now. Rubia's Beauty Salon on my right hand side. Oh, rotisserie. There you go. We got another lighthouse on my left hand side. Yeah, rotisserie. They'll put it on a homemade rotisserie from like a trash can, or from like one of them barrels, them industrial barrels. Look at this dude cleaning rims. It looks like he got a mobile car wash. That also started popping up everywhere in Philly within the last, I would say, decade. There's been a couple handfuls of mobile car washes. They'll take a minivan or a box truck. They'll deck it out with all, I don't know what type of tank. Is it a 50-gallon water tank, a 100-gallon water tank? I don't know. Look at my homie Tim on one of them rental bikes. I think this is Tim's new spot. I've been seeing him out here lately. Wow, that BMW 750 is smoking like crazy. Probably got a bad head gasket. So oil and antifreeze is mixing. A lot of people die right here on this corner. And I actually lost an uncle right here. This is where he passed away. I got family that used to own the strip on the next block. Right on the right hand side, on the next block on Hope Street. Yeah. Tim. Yeah, kind of bugs me a little bit to see him out here doing his thing, but I know, he his own man, he a grown man, and he got to do what he got to do. But I seen him grow up. I actually know his pop. Rest in peace to his pop boo. Know his mom. Know his siblings. And overall, he's a good kid, man. Real good kid. Yeah, this is the block right here that my family used to own back in the day. This was one of the, I would say, to my knowledge, in this whole little Badlands strip next to 4th and Indiana, 3rd and Indiana, this was probably one of the worst blocks in this area. Yeah, my family, I guess, contributed. They're not like primary. They're probably more my pop's family than they were my family, but because they're my pop's family, that makes it my family. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like you know how your parents got first cousins and all that makes them your second cousins. They were more older folk, but I kind of associate it a little bit with the younger generation, like their offspring and everything. But I was a youngster. The next block is a good block to go through, but right now it's closed, so I'm not gonna go through the middle of the block to find out that we're gonna get stuck and have to make a reverse. We're passing Front Street, front of Cambria. I'm gonna go up like another block. We'll make a right. We'll come around Somerset, and then we'll end up crossing over American Street. Let's make this right on Lee Street. Now, to my knowledge, this block got a couple rest in peace memorials on the left-hand side. I don't know if there's been any new ones added, but I know last time I was here, there was, I believe, 2 of them. Yeah, Then you got the first one right here on my left. And then we got the music. We got the music. Yeah, we got one right here for D. Mooley. That box right there had candles in it. And we had another rest in peace right here. And hopefully there's no more on, you know, the up and coming end of the block where we find out that other people lost their lives, which it's a tough cycle, man. That's why sometimes earlier when I said it disappointed me that I saw my young homie out there on the block doing his thing, because I know the consequences, or I know the risks that come involved with something of that nature, you know. But his folks are cool with it, and you know, it's like I said, when they become their own young men, you can only do but so much to persuade them to do something different. You know what I mean? You could care for them, but you just gotta wish them, you give them your blessings, you know, wish them luck, and that's it. You know what I mean? Wow, this pothole's crazy right here. They got a little bull terrier right here on my right hand side, one of them little pocket bullies. No, that's like a bulldog terrier mix thingy majiggy on my right. Those potholes are crazy. Looks like they're about to start setting up shop with a little church PA system. Sometimes the churches do that. It's predominantly the Spanish churches. I keep saying Spanish. And somebody once said, hey, Tune, they're not Spanish. Spanish people are from Spain. Well, what language do Puerto Ricans speak? What language do Dominicans speak? What language do Mexicans speak? They speak Spanish, right? So I don't necessarily mean they're from Spain, but you know, they are. As a matter of fact, let's make this right, because we're driving towards the sun. Let's make this right on Front Street and make a left on Tusculum, which will turn into Indiana. But yeah, so I don't necessarily mean that there's Spanish people from Spain. Obviously, that's a different type of Spanish person. But I'll, you know, roughly speak of like a metaphorical thing, like figuratively speaking, we're in a Spanish neighborhood because everybody speaks Spanish. You know what I mean? But there'll be a, you know, handful of different races. On my left, we got Sam's Supermarket and Smoke Shop. That was just actually added there. It was another business for when I was a little kid, and I used to come to this neighborhood when I was 7, 8, 9, because I had no choice but to come to this neighborhood when I was a youngster with my folks. That was owned by, I believe, an Asian couple. I don't know, my memory's a little rusty. But yeah, we're next to the 57 bus stop. But within the last, I think, 2 years, it was bought out, and there's new owners. And as you can see, now it's painted up. We're at Front and Gurney. I spoke about this before, but this stop sign was never here. The stop sign was added here because of, wow, thanks for beeping. Stopped at the stop sign, guys. You see, there's a female who got hit by a vehicle on my right-hand side. Look at, there's 2 vehicles on my right-hand side stripped. Busted windshields, no rims, stripped. There was a bunch of garages right here on my right that contributed to the drug pandemic in the past. All along my right. Tons, it was like 40 garages. Rinky-dink little wooden shack house garages. Let's make this left on Waterloo. This is where Nesty used to be from. Nesty passed away. I spoke of him before too, but he was I think legally he was considered like a dwarf. He had like a dwarf condition. He was Puerto Rican. He had a bunch of tattoos, both sleeves, chest, neck, and all that. And he used to get money. Some people called him, you know, certain names. Some people called him other names. I didn't know him personally to call him anything other than what I knew his name being was Nesty. He actually bought something off me when I was a youngster. Real quick, just pulled out the cash and bought it off me, a scooter that I was selling. And he was from right here on this left-hand side. But this was his block at some point, but he got gunned down a few years ago behind us on Tusculum, right when it crossed over to Indiana on Manship. But this was like a heavy strip back in the day. Back in the day, it was like a money-making strip. And it was predominantly all Hispanics. I mean, there's African Americans in here that hang out, that know the Puerto Ricans, that hang out with them. You know, I won't be surprised if there's some African Americans, or you want to call them Black Americans in this neighborhood, that probably know a little bit more Spanish than some other Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? Because just because you're Puerto Rican doesn't mean that you know Spanish. Some people who are born in Philadelphia don't know Spanish, or if their folks didn't speak to them in Spanish. I know a bunch of people that don't know Spanish, including myself, for some period of time. They said when I was young that I used to know it. When I was, I guess, a toddler or whatever, they taught me the basics, and I used to know it and understand it. We're on Waterloo. We just left the 2800 block. We're gonna cross over to the 2700 block. It looks like they're in the middle of the street dancing. The dude was just dancing to his music, but I'm gonna just gamble with it. Cross over and see how long we end up waiting here. But yeah, and they said that when I got older, that I guess I wasn't speaking as much, and my pop wasn't. My pop speaks fluent English, but he speaks fluent Spanish, which makes him bilingual. So does my mom. My mom speaks fluent English, fluent Spanish. I didn't grow up with her. She didn't raise me. My pop did. But they both know both languages. Me, on the other hand, I lost touch on my Spanish side. Now, I would say that I'm getting a little bit better. I understood it in Spanish class. I passed all my Spanish classes. I knew all the basic Spanish. The counting 1 through 100. The basic body parts. Ojos, lengua, pies, cabeza. I knew basic animal names, basic object names. But I'm not able to articulate myself in Spanish the way I'm able to articulate myself in English. I think he's giving him a number or something. So I'm gonna give him a few more seconds before I give him a kind beep beep. Somebody in the driver's side leaning over, giving him a number on his phone. So, but yeah, so like it was a case where my buddy Walt knew a little bit more Spanish than me, because they sent him to live in Puerto Rico for like 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, he was going to school over there and everything, and he ended up learning, and he was able to articulate himself in Spanish a little bit better than I was. You know what I mean? So it varies. We got lots on my left, lots on my right. These lots, I won't be surprised if they're available for purchase, guys. I won't be surprised if they're available for purchase. And the sad thing is, a lot of the, you could say, lifelong residents of this neighborhood live next to lots. They caretake them, they manage them, they probably park their cars in them, but they don't own them, and they're going years and years and years and years leaving it that way, right? And then an investor comes in, buys it from right under their nose, and they lose the opportunity to own a piece of real estate, a piece of land, which it sucks. It sucks big time, because a lot of the land ends up, like, some of them lots that we passed are probably selling for $7,000, $14,000, $20,000, maybe $25,000 without a property on it. We're on 2nd and Lehigh. During the Portica Parade, at least back in the Puerto Rican Parade's prime time here in Philly, we have a parade. It's called the Portica Parade. It's usually the last Sunday of September. All the Puerto Ricans in Philly usually gather in this area right here, North Philly, specifically in between the boundary of Fairhill and West Kensington, which is on my left. Yep. I mean, they travel all throughout Hunting Park and throughout Hartranft. You might see a couple in Hartranft. You might see some in East Kensington. You might see some in Aramingo, like around Port Richmond and all that. But primarily, they're in this neighborhood right here. You might even see them in like Juniata, but they're primarily in this neighborhood. This is where the festivities are held. Normally, this block used to get closed down for the next 5 blocks, and they'll host. Let me go straight and cross over. We're crossing American Street, and I'm gonna make a right here on 3rd Street. I was just gonna make a right on American Street, but there's not much to see there. It's just like an industrial area. I'm gonna make this right. We're next to the 54 bus stop. Now we're on 3rd Street. On my right hand side used to be Cousins supermarket. I was never a big fan of shopping at Cousins, I'll be completely honest with you. Ever since I went to Cousins when I was a kid, and I used to have to go with older folks, because you know, when you're a kid, you ain't got a choice, so you got to go with people. I used to have to go with my family members. Man, it used to stink so wretched. Like, the first thing I smelled when I went in there was like, it smelled like spoiled. Like, you know how when you go into supermarkets, they got like, you know, the meat area with the produce and the chicken. Oh man, and then when I used to go to see the meats, they used to be like a little discolored, in my personal opinion. But they definitely did have their faithful clientele. We're at 3rd and Somerset. We used to play handball on the side of this Congressional building on my right hand side, Congressional Education and Training Center. Yeah, we used to play handball against that wall back in the day. I actually got one of my first sets of tickets there at 13 years old. When I was a kid, I got pulled over there at 13 doing donuts and 360s in a 1988 Honda Civic hatchback. All the police came out of nowhere and just pinned me in. I had to go to court for that case, and I was 13. They didn't tow the vehicle. They allowed me to park it, walk home. I was nearby, and they said that if they saw me in it, that they were gonna take it. But the cop was so shocked to see me, a young kid, inside the vehicle. Yeah, he was shocked. I was thankful enough, that he didn't tow it, because that was a few years before Live Stop came. Because in Philadelphia came out with a program called Live Stop, that if they caught you without a license, registration, and or insurance, they were legally allowed to tow your vehicle, legally. So luckily, that happened before Live Stop. But then a couple years later, I ended up getting a vehicle towed anyway. You live to tell about the story, right? We're on 3rd and Cambria. We're traveling up 3rd Street. We got one house on my right with it looks like an added 3rd floor, but primarily all these houses are 2-story. Goes to show you, one person decided to add a 3rd floor. We're passing a 200 block of Birch. I don't think I ever took y'all down Birch. Let's take y'all down Birch today. We're gonna come back around, but why not? I feel like I always drive through here and I never show y'all Birch. Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead, you wanna go, buddy? Go ahead. Yeah, so I feel like every time I come through here, like I never actually show y'all these little 2 blocks. That's what I'm gonna try to do while I'm here in Philly for the next, for the duration of the next, couple or so videos. I'm gonna try to hit the little blocks that don't get so much attention. We're now approaching American Street. Make this right-hand turn on American Street, and then we're gonna make another right-hand turn again on Birch, the 200 block of West Birch. I wanted to show you Birch. Remember? You remember? I wanted to show you Birch. Yeah, we're on Birch. 2-story houses, a lot of stucco, a lot of different brick designs. Got an older gentleman right here walking with a bottle of water. Got a gentleman in front of us on the porch. We'll make this right-hand turn on 3rd Street. Alright, we're passing A&D Grocery on my right-hand side. We got Gamai's Bar on my right, and we got Lucky Garden on my left. We got a lot on my right that normally they have fruits. There's an older guy that usually sells fruits there. We're passing Mayfield. I coulda, shoulda went up Mayfield, but it's a no outlet. It means that we would have had a reverse out of it. Passing Elkhart, which is also a no outlet. We're gonna make this left on Gurney. And then we're gonna make this left again. We're gonna make the first left just because I'm gonna try to focus on some of these little blocks. Passing Oriana. We're about to make this left right here in the Oriana. We're not about to pass it, but to be clear, we're about to enter Oriana. It is 6:55 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. We're actually facing southbound. Behind us is northbound. On my right is westbound. On my left is eastbound. Got a tail light out. I would have told him his tail light's out, but his window's out. That's a reason to get pulled over. In Philly, cops would definitely use that as an excuse. I think anywhere, right? Isn't that the general consensus? Like, if you got a tail light out, that's a perfect excuse to pull you over. Green and orange. I like this combination right here on my left. Green and orange. There's a lot of green cars on this block. I saw we just passed like 5 different variants of green cars. Different variations of all shades of green. We got a bunch of chickens, roosters, and stuff on my left-hand side. I think I showed y'all this recently, but I made a right. I'm just gonna keep going straight. Remember, because we're gonna try to focus on some of these little blocks. If you're a regular watcher of the channel, then you've seen the main blocks plenty of times. But it's these little blocks that I want to basically focus a little bit more attention on. Wow, that little shed back there looks straight up like some Puerto Rico stuff. In PR, they also use cinder blocks a lot to like fortify something, to make it more sturdy, you know? And that's what they do over here. There's a rooster. We just passed a rooster. That's what they do over here. Oh, we got an RV over here. Okay. A Winnebago. This is a Class A. Yeah, it is a Class A. Class A's usually have the flat fronts. Class B looks more like like those U-Haul rental, the new vans, the 2020, 2021 vans. It's like a really nice looking van. And then the Class C is on like the 350 Ecoline or the 450 Ecoline chassis. It's kind of like a van chassis, but it's hard to explain. If you don't know about vehicles, then what I'm saying sounds like Chinese to you, but you know, metaphorically speaking, it doesn't make sense to you. But yeah, clean up after your dog, $300 fine, and then they got a no dumping fine right there, $300. And look on my left. Never ceases to amaze me at how many areas where there's a no dumping sign, and then like 50 feet away from that no dumping sign, boom, you'll end up seeing a whole nother no dumping situation where people are dumping. Like for example, right here on my right hand side, dumping. We're exiting the 2800 block of Oriana. We're gonna enter the 2700 block of Oriana, and we got a bunch of dumping on my right hand side. Look at it, you see? But there's a $300 fine. Thing is that they'll never get caught because they come at the right time of day, which will be nighttime. So I guess they come at the right time of night, and then they dump it, and nobody's gonna say anything unless they're like a block captain. Look, we got that nice mural on my right hand side. Blue shirt, dude looking up with his hands open. Seems to be accepting, I don't know, maybe the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit or something, or maybe just hot, maybe just flexing, I don't know. He got a gold chain. You got tires behind him, you got row homes behind him, you got a fence. See, those murals right there are part of the mural arts program. Somebody thought that the graffiti or the pieces or the rest in peace murals were part of the mural arts program, were part of the reason why we're the mural capital of to my knowledge, the country. Look on my right, there's another mural. And it's not because of the rest in peace pieces or murals. It's not because of the graffiti. It's because of these right here on my right. Because of actual paintings. You know what other city had nice paintings when I went there? Baltimore. Baltimore had some considerably nice paintings, y'all. When I was in Baltimore, I liked it. Their churches, well, I just invented a word. I liked it. I liked it is not a word. I liked their churches. I thought a lot of the churches looked decent. We're on 4th and Lehigh. And I liked their, let's make this left over here, because some people say tune, but you stay on the Puerto Rican side of Fairhill. You don't go to the Black American side. Or like I like to say, the Brown American side. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn, and we're gonna go down 4th Street, because the perimeter of Fairhill actually stops over here. We're gonna go to Huntington. Somebody was wheeling behind me, another dirt bike. This park on the right hand side oversaw several changes when it comes to like the play set and the style of the park. It's called Fairhill Square because why? We're in the Fairhill neighborhood. We're on 4th and Huntington. Actually, let me go straight. I'm gonna make a left, right? And we're gonna make another left. There's a big memorial. There's a big memorial on my left-hand side. We're gonna go around and we'll see. There was a female that was just shot on 3rd and Huntington. Look at that Monte Carlo on my right. Wow. Yeah, there was a female that just passed away about a week ago, I believe, and she was shot, I think, once. I think she was shot. I think it was a headshot, unfortunately, and I think it was by her spouse. I don't know all the details, but we just passed Edith corner store and another bar. We're passing Oriana. We got Nelson's Playground on my right, which oversaw several renovations recently. Frank S. Nelson Jr. It's the Nelson Recreation Center. Got huge lots on my right, which I promise you will be taking over soon. They're dumping on my right. So the neighborhood has so much potential, but there's a lot of dumping. And it gets cleaned up. It will get cleaned up, and then it'll end up getting taken advantage of again, and somebody will dump. Look at this Caprice on my left. I always like this Caprice. Look at it, look at it, look at it. White Caprice, y'all see it? Woo! That thing was saucy. White Caprice. It's always parked there. It's either on the left side or on the right side. Yo, look at this pump. This pump is taking a leak. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. Alright, we're on 3rd and Huntington. And I'm gonna make this left right here. And on my right hand side, you're gonna see a whole family right now mourning. I guess her name was Sally. There's a bunch of like, I don't know if y'all seen the balloons. It was a bunch of balloons. Rest in peace, young woman. I'm sorry to hear about it. I know there's a lot of men fatalities, but whenever there's a woman that's gunned down, that's not so common. Lately, it's becoming like the norm. Women, kids, and all that getting shot. We're passing Lithgow, or Lithgow. I'm gonna make a left and I'm gonna make a double left. We're gonna keep on going straight, then we'll cross back up 5th Street. We got Alberto Grocery on my right hand side. That was my pop's store back in '88, way back in the day. That's where my pop met my mama. And if it wasn't for that store, my papa and my mama probably wouldn't have got together, and I wouldn't be here doing these tours with you right now. So I think that store contains some sort of vital history. There should be a national monument. Say no. They're like, Tune, nobody care about you, Tune. All right, we are now on Cumberland. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn on Cumberland, and I'm gonna make another left-hand turn on Lithgow. Juanito's Lounge is in front of us. I'm gonna make this left. I'm gonna take you through this block because I just want to show you a house that I saw that was for sale recently on Zillow. They wanted $40,000. Now I'm gonna show you what you're gonna get for $40,000 in the Fairhill hood. Now, there's a lot right here for sale on my left. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. There's a bunch of lots. A lot of these lots are maintained by locals, but I don't know if they own them. This house right here on my left hand side, the first one. You see how there's two of them? The burgundy brick one next to the blue one. The red brick one is for 40 G's. I saw it on Zillow, which is a real estate app. Yeah, and I mean, for 40 G's, you get that here, or 40 G's, you go to the country, you get yourself a nice little townhome with maybe a half an acre of land or something all around it, and some privacy in a nice little quiet area. For 40 G's, I think you're paying for this free daily car wash that's complimentary of the city tax dollars. You end up getting free car washes every time you drive through one of these pumps. Alright, so now we're back on Huntington and Lawrence. I'm gonna cross over Lawrence. This is that store on my left hand side that my pop used to have. Then on the right hand side, it's my cousin's restaurant. They actually still own it. We're passing Orkney. This restaurant right here on my right hand side, it used to be called El Cacica Cafe. And then it got rented out several other times after my cousin let the business go down. That cold beer on my left was also another family member's. His name was Chung. I actually have a Korean family member married in. His name was Chung. He was married to our cousin Nilda, which would be my pop's first cousin. I guess that would make her my second cousin. And they gave me my mixed descent my mixed descent cousins, which would be Christina and Natalia. I heard Christina still lives in Philly. Heard she's married. And then I heard that Natalia moved to Arizona. I have a cousin that moved to Arizona, which, you know, I kind of found interesting because when I went to California and I flew back, we had to take 2 planes, and then the first stop was at Arizona. So I actually flew over Arizona, landed in Arizona, but then we took another plane, which was the connecting flight to go to Philly. We got 5th and Lehigh right here. This is El Centro de Oro, the center of gold. A lot of Puerto Ricans in this neighborhood. A lot of Puerto Rican businesses. So much so that they made these fake palm trees right here. Now that I got a chance to see real palm trees in real life, these are baby miniature fake wannabe palm trees. These things are like 10 feet tall. The tallest is I think like 12, 13 feet tall. These on my right, you see them? They're not real. They're made out of some type of, I don't know, cast iron, aluminum, metal, something, steel, I don't know. But they're fake, obviously, because we ain't got no palm trees in Philly. But they're not even like close to what a palm tree looks like as far as height-wise. We're passing Somerset. Like the ones in Crenshaw, when I went to Crenshaw, those things were enormous. They were like 5, 6 stories high. They were ridiculously tall. Like it would have been decent like if they made those that tall. Like if they was gonna make some fake palm trees, go hard or go home. Like don't make no imitations that look clearly like imitations. Look at more palm trees right here on my left and on my right. So they run a span of like 4 or so blocks until like Clearfield, and then they stop. But yeah, so that's how you know you over here in Fairhill. It's because the palm trees give it up. I'm gonna make this right hand turn on Cambria. Murals on my right. You see, those are murals. Those are actual paintings of, like, you know, people and culture. Those paintings tell stories. Those paintings are done by like actual artists, like people who use paintbrush, you know, who use a palette with, you know, paintbrush colors. That's who those are actually done by. Look at this dude just completely ate this. He didn't even bother looking right. He completely ate it, disregarded that I made a complete stop and that I was gonna go, and he just phew. He was looking straight. We're passing Lithgow. Remember we went down Lithgow earlier, where they had that $40,000 house. This is on the opposite side. This is on the other side of Lehigh. I can make this right hand turn here. I'll make this right hand turn here. Look at that RX-7 on my right. Wow, that RX-7 looking nice, didn't it? For all you RX-7 enthusiasts, that was what, the 1988, 1990, 1991 body? Correct me if I'm wrong. The old Community is on my right? Community Academy. That was a high school for students who were missing credits. We're on 4th and Somerset. We got Choo Choo Mini Market on my left. I can go straight, or I can go right. I think I'm gonna go straight. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight. Go straight because we got Julia de Burgos Bilingual Middle Magnet School on my right. This is the new one. I actually graduated from the original 2002. In 2003, they opened this one on my right. I was hating. On my left, we got another beautiful mural. Yeah, I was hating because they had AC in this building. They had, like, in my opinion, top flight security of the world lunch. Craig, like, they had, like, the good pizzas. They had the good burgers. We had corny lunches. We had space lunches and stuff when I was in the old one. We had, like, asbestos falling from the ceilings. Like the original Julia de Burgos, which is only like 4 blocks up. This is on 4th Street. The original was on 7th Street. And we were the last graduating class. Let me tell you how during the auditorium sessions, like pieces of the sheetrock of the ceiling would fall on students. Like, I'm telling you, it was that bad. Like, it was a rinky-dink old building. I guess that's why it was time for a new one. But they still had us going to school in it, which didn't make the least bit of sense. I'll make this right on 5th Street. We're back on 5th Street. Look at, they got the pig roasting on my left. On the mural, there was a mural, and the mural displayed a pig on a rotisserie. Centro de Oro. If you look down on the ground, there's like it was supposed to be a gold pathway that you can follow. I'm gonna make this left here because we already went up. I don't want to be repetitious, so I'm gonna make this left here on Somerset. We got Raymond's nightclub, bar, and restaurant on my left-hand side. There's a ton of business on this little strip. A few businesses, I would say 3-4 blocks span, but a lot of them are closed or yeah. We're gonna pass another free car wash. I'm telling you, in Philly, you get plenty of free car washes. So much so, you better not wash your car and detail it, because you're gonna be a block where you're gonna have to reverse it. If you don't want to wet it, you're gonna come through a block just like this, where they got the fire hydrant open, and I'm telling you, you're gonna get wet. So don't say Tune didn't warn you. I feel bad for those people in slingshots. If you're in a slingshot, just imagine a slingshot doesn't have a roof. So, you know, you end up driving through it with a slingshot. You have to reverse, crisscross. Oh, look at the little colorful banners they put up top. That's nice. It gives some coloration to the block, some colorization. There's this little Samurai on my right hand side, Suzuki Samurai. I actually like the Suzuki Samurais. The little teeny weeny Jeeps, little cute Jeeps. Must be 5-speed though. On my left is one of the first few gas stations that I've seen in Philly with the gas station boys. Now, they're not officially called the gas station boys, but there's, I would say, a dozen or so young gentlemen, ranging from the ages of probably 11, 12 to like maybe 16, 17, maybe 18 is the oldest. And they hang out at the gas station and they ask to pump gas. Yep, they're young entrepreneurial gentlemen with the entrepreneur spirit. Yep. One time I saw the young kid, I think I gave him $1. I said, don't go using this for nothing stupid, man. He put out a knot of money, K-N-O-T, like a knot of bread, like a bread roll knot. And he said, nah, man, I'm saving. And he had like, probably had like 50 to 100 bucks in his pocket. He said, nah, man, I'm saving. I said, that's what's up. Save for something good. Don't go blow it on. Because some of them smoke. Some of them use the money to like buy weed. Some of them sell weed. You'll be at the gas station, they'll pump your gas and they'll sell you a nickel bag at the same damn time. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got the entrepreneurial spirit. As a matter of fact, the entrepreneurial spirit is so much so, we're on Fairhill and Somerset. Go ahead, Pop. We're so much so that they'll sell you water. There's this one kid that be there that he'll pump your gas, he'll probably sell you some weed, but he also got a little cooler with some like what you call it, Gatorades, sodas, and waters. One time some female bought a soda from there and it was like $2 or something, and she was mad or something, and he's like, you see, you should have bought one from me, it was only $1. And yo, it was funny because I'm like, in my head I'm thinking like, wow, like he actually got a point. The gas station was selling them for $2, he got them in his cooler for $1. So yeah, it makes sense. So these young females on my left-hand side, they're about to cross the street. They have Bibles, which tells me, and they got the skirts to go with it, which tells me they're probably Pentecostal, about to head to a Pentecostal church. Or maybe, I don't know if they're evangelistic or from an evangelist church. I'll make this right here on Cambria. We're now at Reese and Cambria. I'm gonna make this left on 5th Street, Jose Ortiz Avenue. We got Maria Grocery Store on my right. We got Romano's Pizza Express on my left. Now let me tell y'all how Maria is like a very, very common, I'm not even just gonna say Puerto Rican name. I think it's a very common Hispanic name. Because I know so many Marias. Oh, Maria, Maria. She reminds me of a West Side Story. Growing up in Spanish, Fica, North Philadelphia. She living life just like a movie star. Oh, Maria, Maria. You see, that's why I failed on season 1 of the American Idol. But anyway, right? We're on 5th in Indiana. My mom's a Maria. One of my sisters a Maria. I swear I know. I got neighbors moms that are Marias, like in the front blocks and the back blocks. I swear. In school, I was in school with Marias. I'm sure some of my viewers, moms, aunts, grandmoms, sisters, wives, daughters are probably named Maria. You know what I mean? I'll make this right-hand turn. Church of God Chronicles on my right-hand side. But yeah, Maria is such a common name. So common. Make this right on Orkney. Yeah, Maria is such a common name. But I think like on the male aspect, the equivalent of Maria, but wasn't Maria in the Bible, right? I think Maria was in the Bible, so that's why, you know, a lot of Spanish people, because a lot of Spanish people tend to name their kids biblical names, believe it or not. I think another equivalent to a male Spanish equivalent of a Maria would be like Jose. I think Jose or Juan. Jose or Juan are probably an equivalent of a male Spanish name. You know what I mean? Alright, we're on Orkney. A lot of ambience out here, a lot of activity. He just dumped right there, just threw his clear cup. It goes to show you. He just straight up dumped his clear cup right there on the side. Open up the back door just to give a hug. And they don't plan on being kind enough to move at any time soon. Park up, park up, park up. Park up, Pop. The dude next to me with the shopping cart got mad. That's it. Park it up. Could have did that from the beginning. It was funny because the dude with the shopping cart next to me said, "Ay, que cojones." He said something. He was frustrated for me. Nah, but it's cool. I think this gives you guys like a better look, a closer look, without even. That wasn't my intention. My intention wasn't to sit there for 5 minutes and be on camera. But hey, if that's what y'all want to put yourselves through, that's what y'all want to put yourselves through. But y'all seen that You know, they sat there, they held a whole side conversation. They opened up the back door, they gave him a hug. They took some numbers down. They took some pictures, some selfies. They like cooked some chicken, some turkey. They said grace, and they still stopped and went back for a whole nother phone number. Like that's what it is, you know. And if I wouldn't have said park up, Pop, he would have probably stood there in the middle of the street. All right, we are now next to Arecibo Lounge on my right-hand side. I believe there's a part of Puerto Rico named Arecibo, so that goes to show you. We're passing Lawrence. All walk-ins welcome, and all that I mentioned, barbershop on my right. Passing Lithgow. We're gonna have to go around again to go straight through Indiana. We're on 4th and Cambria. Yeah, but that block right there that you guys just witnessed where we got stuck in traffic, if you watch that BBC documentary with Reds, I know a lot of people comment on my videos and they're well aware of who Reds was in Philly because of that documentary that the British dude put out on YouTube. Let's make this left-hand turn on 3rd Street. That was his block. So that block that we just went through is that notorious block from that documentary, which I'm sure has over 1 million views. And all the people you pretty much saw out there were, majority of them were Puerto Rican with the exception of a few, you know, brown Americans. We're gonna make this left on Indiana. We're on 3rd in Indiana. But when they come from PR and they come to a small neighborhood like this, they bring that lawlessness with them and they maintain it in the community because they figure the neighbors ain't gonna say nothing. Nobody's gonna report them. There's really no witnesses but the people who they're rocking with, so they can pretty much take authority into their own hands. Police aren't gonna get here, what, 3, 5, 10 minute call time? I don't know. Passing Lithgow. But it's not like they're gonna fly here instantly. It's not gonna like, oh, something happens, boom, they're here a minute later. No. It's gonna take several minutes before any police come. Before you know it, they're gone. There's that same block that we just passed, but we went left, now we're going straight. Or in this case, we're going westbound. When we traveled down it northbound, which was to our left is northbound, in front of us is westbound, behind us is eastbound. On my right is, no, on my right is northbound, on my left is southbound, I'm sorry. Let's make this right-hand turn on 5th Street. We got some dude selling flowers right here on my left-hand side. And it looked like she was about to go buy some flowers. Yeah, you'll see that too. You'll see a lot of Hispanics. You'll see them trying to make a hustle. A hustle meaning selling flowers, selling waters, selling pinchos, which is pretty much chicken on a stick, or beef on a stick, or pork on a stick. You'll see them selling several other items to try to, you know, make ends meet, try to make a couple bucks. All right, we're gonna make this left-hand turn on Allegheny. We're on 5th and Allegheny. We got a nice mural on my left by Bark and his homie. Gonna make this left-hand turn, 5th and Allegheny. I believe this is a Fine Fair, right? Yeah, this is a Fine Fair supermarket. They used to have a Fine Fair in West Kensington, but they closed it down. They literally just closed it down. The Fine Fair from West Kensington was right across the street from Rocky's original gym, where they shot the Rocky movie, Rocky Part 1. Yeah. I would love to show y'all the mural. It's probably closed. Let me see. Let me go around and see if it's closed. Yep, it's closed. I was gonna show y'all the mural of the student that I used to have that passed away, but I actually went by it the other day and saw it again. Sad. All right, we're on 6th Street. We're about to hit 6 and what's this? Clearfield, right? Now, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, I guess, last note because we are about to reach our 1 hour mark in a few seconds. If you go to the Philadelphia Police YouTube, it's the Philadelphia Police Department. They do have a YouTube channel. They have over 30,000 subscribers. This store on my right-hand side on 6th and Clearfield, there's footage, CCTV footage of somebody being gunned down right there. from like 11 years ago. Yup, from like 11 years ago. It's really classic footage. And there's even a story where there was a female taken out of this house on my right hand side, right here on my right, one of these apartments on my right. It rolled up in a carpet. 3 people, 1 female, and 2 men disposed of her body. So yeah, we're driving through areas where unfortunately a lot of lives were taken, a lot of lives were lost, and the stories go on, because we only got the ones that I know about, that I can recollect, that I paid attention to news segments and whatnot. But before my time, before my generation, I'm sure there's dozens and dozens of souls that were taken too early. But with that being said, guys, we just reached our 1 hour mark. Thank you for watching. We didn't hit all of the Fairhill Badlands neighborhood, but we covered a good bit of it. I have an exaggerated amount of footage in this neighborhood. If you guys are intrigued by this neighborhood, look through my channel. I literally probably have 30, 40 videos of this neighborhood alone, because this is the neighborhood that I grew up around. So yeah, feel free to browse my page. I have over 1,000 plus videos, over a little bit over 1,400 videos. Over 400 of those videos are driving tours, walking tours, covering all different neighborhoods in Philadelphia, including the Fairhill neighborhood. With that being said, turn on your notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. We got an e-scooter giveaway. We're going to be giving away a brand new e-scooter when our YouTube channel hits 50,000 subscribers. When Tune 215 hits 50,000 subscribers, and the second YouTube channel, Tune Be Chillin', TOONBECHILLIN, reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna post a top secret giveaway link on one of the 2 channels that's gonna be active for 1 week, giving you guys, the viewer, a 1 week, 7-day opportunity to enter the giveaway. When we reach the deadline, I'm gonna do a live drawing via World Wide Web, so you guys can witness who won the free GoTrax e-scooter, brand new in the box. Show some love, y'all. Sharing is caring. Share this video on any social network and or with a friend or family member via text, email, or write it on a napkin. Knock on the door, play knock knock zoom zoom, and run away. Maybe they'll visit the website, maybe they won't, but guess what? It's the thought that counts. It's your homeboy Tune, Mr. Tune Dollars, Tune Ski, Tunism, Bad Tune, Super Tune, Tune 1, Tuner, Tune Be Chillin', Tune Califragilistic Expialidocious, Tune on El Cinco de Lehigh, and I'm tuning out.